Hello, everybody, and welcome to Saturday Cocktails. I'm your host, Dr. Tim J. Curtis. The J stands for just take it easy, dog. They're just people. Don't get upset. We may or may not be interrupted with an alert from our hound dog, but we'll see. Anyway, as you may know from previous episodes, I'm a veterinarian by trade and a drinker by choice. We have a nice cocktail today, created by our good friend and colleague, Phil Ward at Death & Co. He has no clue who I am, never met him. I have his book. I will promote that book until, I don't know, until the end of time. Anyway, it's a great book, great cocktail. This is what we're making today is called a Oaxaca Old Fashioned.
Oaxacan.
The book says Oaxaca, but I like to say Oaxacan, and that's O-X-A, no.
O-A-X.
O-A-X.
A-C-A.
A-C-A. Not to be confused with what I was previously describing as a Weehawken Old Fashioned. My wife and producer, Nikki, informed me that this drink is made with tequila, and Oaxaca is a state in Mexico, not a small township in New Jersey. But let me just give you a little bit of background. Weehawken, New Jersey is probably best known for being the site of a very popular dueling grounds where Alexander Hamilton was killed by Aaron Burr, and prior to his, I'm not going to say assassination because it was a duel, prior to his death, his son was killed there in a duel as well. That's all the information I have about Weehawken. Other than I think they have pretty nice views from the tops of the hill. I don't know. It's New Jersey. Everything's legal in New Jersey, with the exception of pumping your own gas. You cannot pump your own gas in New Jersey. Why? I don't know. There's a whole lot of stuff on the internet about why. Oregon broke out. They can pump their own gas now. I mean, it's a brave new world. Get on board, New Jersey. So let's talk about this cocktail. It is a Oaxacan Old Fashioned. We are not using bourbon or whiskey. We are using tequila, reposado tequila to be specific. That's an aged tequila, not super aged, but just 2 years or so. We're using El Tesoro. This is also our first step into, well, on Saturday Cocktails, we drink this a lot. Our first step into the use of mezcal. Now, you might think of mezcal, you might think of the worm in the bottom of the bottle or a scorpion or whatever you've seen. Do me a favor, don't buy that unless you're going to put it on your shelf. Terrible stuff. Del Magua Vida. This is terrible. This whole thing is terrible.
Do you want to start over?
Yes. So, today we're using reposado tequila. This is tequila aged for at least 2 years. Gives a little bit of darker color, aged in an oak barrel. Really nice. El Tesoro is the brand we're using today. Our mezcal has no worm in the bottom of it. You don't want a mezcal that has a worm in the bottom of it. I'm just going to tell you right now. This is Del Magua Vida. This is a good mezcal. People often ask what the difference between mezcal and tequila is. Simply, you can say all tequilas are mezcals because they're all made from agave, but not all mezcals are tequila. I think I got that right. Someone will correct me if not. Anyway, tequilas are made from blue agave, and mezcal differs in the way it's distilled. It's cooked in clay pots, usually in the ground. They describe using lava rocks and wood. So it gives a bit of a smokier flavor, which is what we're after here. They play very nicely together. And we'll be using some agave syrup and a little bit of Angostura. Okay, and we've got a very cool flourish at the end here, which we'll talk about. Let's get started, shall we? So, 1.5 ounces of reposado. Boy, this stuff's good. It just smells good. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm not a fast pourer, so I fill in the time with nonsensical conversation. Could talk more about Oaxaca, but I won't. 1/2 ounce of mezcal. You know, I bring back mezcal periodically when I go to Mexico, but it's always a terrible bottle because I get it from my friend who basically wants a terrible bottle that has a worm in it or a scorpion. He has both now. Teaspoon, bar spoon of agave nectar. This is just syrup, not simple syrup, just the straight stuff. All right. A couple of dashes of Angostura. All right. We got our ice. Maybe an extra cube, too much. All right. The other thing we like to have or use in our house is clear ice. Into a rocks glass. We're going to stamp this ice with our brass stamper. It's cat with a bow tie. You just press it straight down on the ice. Oh, it's perfect. Double strain this guy. Oh, look at that color. Beautiful.
Very nice.
Okay, now, for those of you who are just getting into your home bar, we're going to flame an orange here, an orange peel. We've made our orange peels. You want to make sure that you squeeze, express the orange oil from the skin side. So this is the pith side, this is the skin side.
The outside.
Right.
The side that's outside of the orange.
Is this necessary? Probably not. Will it make you look like a badass? Definitely. Okay. I'm getting the Fred Sanford, I don't know, sign from my wife. Okay, here we go. Let's get started. Or I should say, let's finish. Not super flourishy. Ooh, there we go. And then you can, as many times as you like, drop it in. And that's your Oaxacan Old Fashioned. Cheers. Let's just get some of the housekeeping out of the way here. It's pronounced Oaxaca. O-A-X-C-A.
O-A-X-A-C-E-A.
O-X-A-C.
No.
O-X.
No.
Okay.
O-A-X.
O-A-X-A-C-A.
A-C-A.
Oaxaca. Exactly what I said. Not to be confused with what I like to call Oaxacan. By trade and a drinker by choice. Today, we are we're making a cocktail called a Oaxacan Old Fashioned. Created, the actual creator, Phil Ward, our friend and colleague at Death & Co. He is neither a friend nor a colleague. I'm an amateur, he's a professional. I don't know him, I own his book. Great book, great drink.